It was my 43rd birthday. The candles flickered brightly across their cheerful countenances. My brother Santino, his fiancée, Veronica, and my parents all insisted on commemorating the day at my residence, the dwelling I erected piece by piece, after years of holding 2 occupations and obtaining only 4 hours of rest nightly. I remember thinking how flawless it all seemed: the mirth, the confection, the gleaming gift container on the table. I almost believed for a brief moment that my kin genuinely cared. Then I opened the box. Inside was not a timepiece or a publication. It was a neatly folded letter, printed on official stationery. An order of eviction? My name was accurately spelled. My address, my house. Santino's signature at the bottom, right next to my parents' initials. For a moment, I could not inhale. Their faces became indistinct behind my tears. Not because I was fragile, but because I could not fathom they selected this date, my anniversary. Don't take it personally. My brother, Santino said, beaming like a man proud of his cruelty. It's just we determined it's time for you to progress. You've been staying here too long. Staying? That word cut deeper than any blade. I constructed that house, settled every mortgage installment, and when I was dismissed, I temporarily added their names for refinancing, trusting them. Family, They giggled when I did not respond. My mother gently touched my hand. You'll comprehend eventually, dear. It's for the greater good. I smiled, not because I concurred, but because I understood something they did not. They had taken my home, but they had no inkling of what I was about to repossess from them. Before that night, I would have done anything for them. When Dad became ill, I paid the hospital fees. When my brother Santino wished to launch a venture, I mortgaged a portion of the house. When Mom required an automobile, I procured it. They were my universe, my blood kin. But kinship is not defined by blood. It is defined by fidelity, and they possessed none. I spent the first few days after the eviction quietly packing my possessions. I did not weep. I did not plead. They presumed I had surrendered. That was their initial error, because while I packed, I eavesdropped. Santino boasted on calls about selling my house to finance his nuptials. My parents discussed how she managed to get back on her feet. She always does. They underestimated me again. The shift arrived the evening. I discovered the agreement. He'd sold the dwelling, but the transfer was not yet finalized. The transaction was pending on one stipulation: proof of clear title. Santino required my signature. He'd forged it once already. But the financial institution demanded an in-person validation. I did not challenge him. Not yet. Instead, I formulated a scheme. I commenced with gathering information. Silently, systematically, I contacted the purchaser, feigning to be the seller's assistant. I inquired about their remittance schedule, the legal representative, the pending loan. Then I reached out to the bank. By the end of the week, I knew everything. The deception, the counterfeit signature, the monetary trails. But retaliation is not merely about exposing someone. It is about timing. His nuptials were in 3 weeks. A magnificent occasion, hundreds of guests, the ideal stage. I smiled as I endorsed the documents. Yes, the ones he forged. But this time, I ensured the date was adjusted. The original forgery predated an active loan agreement. That one stipulation rendered his entire contract fraudulent. I let him believe he had triumphed. I even attended the wedding dressed elegantly, like a woman untouched by treachery. He embraced me smugly and proudly. You're still welcome in our new home, anytime, he whispered. I leaned close, my voice composed. You mean my previous home? He chortled. You'll release that someday. Oh, I already have. The ceremony was conducted in a grand ballroom, rented, of course, with a deposit from my property. Chandeliers gleamed, music filled the atmosphere, and everyone looked so content, so unaware. Until the officers arrived. 3 constables, 1 bank investigator. They headed directly for my brother. The instant his name resounded through the microphone, the music ceased. Guests turned. His bride froze mid-step. Fraud, forgery, attempted theft of property? I did not need to utter a single word. The document spoke for me. Santino's face lost all color. He gazed at me from across the room, his eyes wide, desperate, confused, and I just smiled, because he finally understood what it feels like to lose something you thought was yours. By the close of the evening, the house sale was invalidated. His accounts were frozen. The nuptials collapsed under the weight of the scandal. My parents attempted to call me for days. I did not respond. It was not rage that kept me silent. It was serenity. Sometimes silence is the most powerful revenge. I returned to my house 2 weeks later. Everything felt the same. The fragrance of wood polished the sunlight spreading across the tiles. But it was not the same me walking through the door. They had imparted something priceless to me. That affection without regard is a business arrangement waiting to lapse. So when people inquire about my kin, now I relate the truth. I had one once, but on my birthday they presented me with an order of eviction.